There is a door we all come to, one that protects the facts and truths that hold our reality together from that which floats beyond reason and sanity. Once we walk through that door, nothing is ever the same. We can become lost in the abyss of man's imagination, wandering down the long hall into the kind of madness that is dangerously pervasive. Infected with a delirium most foul and contagious until we are all unable to navigate our way back to what is real. It is here where we find absurd conspiracies. Standardized education has been around for a few hundred years in most countries. And while people have debated whether it was to teach conformity to social norms and indoctrinate the youth into an 8-hour workday, or if it was totally based on the will to breed a society with a higher level of education, one thing is for sure: school has played a huge part in shaping the future. The written word today is taken for granted, yet just under 125 years ago, over half the population of the United States could not read or spell, and of those that could, a large percentage did not do either well enough to be considered literate by today's standards. Spelling, in particular, has been one of the main concentrations of public school, which is the key to written communication and understanding the written word. Yet many have come to believe that the way we teach could have a sinister agenda, one that dates back thousands of years or more, back to when knowledge was hidden from the masses, passed from one person to another in order to have power, and that their agenda of control was built into the system from the start. And the people that knew this hidden wisdom have been at the center of an ongoing battle between good and evil since the beginning of time itself. That the word spelling itself is steeped in evil black magic. And lastly, that this is part of a population that has been under the influence of the devil all along.
When you read the Bible, it's very clear that ignorance is bliss. That the expulsion from Eden was because of the willingness of Adam and Eve to accept knowledge from the devil. It can't be any clearer than that. If you know stuff, you know the devil. As you spread education, you are doing the devil's work.
Some see the educational system as a wolf in sheep's clothing. It presents itself to the public as the benefit, but it is really the road to hell. And the builders of that road, the tour guides to hell, are the same as the ones that tempted Adam: women.
Eve could not just be happy. She was made from Adam, for Adam, but she could not just be content. She let the serpent tempt her, then pressure Adam, and the next thing you knew, they were evicted from Eden. Adam had to go get a job and scrap for food and shelter like an animal. All because of Eve, and it is still that way today. Only now most of the teachers are women, still teaching the devil's knowledge to boys and girls, making sure that they will never be free from the devil's grip.
Still, others look at the phonetic sounds of words, and that they might be part of ancient spells that were used to conjure up evil spirits and the devil himself, and that these sounds are used every day now by the masses to keep the world under the spell of the devil, trapped in the dark, unable to live in the light of God. Believers say that these sounds and incantations date back to the Druids and pagan dark rituals, hidden knowledge that was supposedly lost in the Dark Ages but survived only to be brought back during the Renaissance, and then crafted into the system that we have all been educated or indoctrinated under today.
As a male teacher, I have been ostracized and marginalized by what amounts to a coven of witches in every school. They did not want me bringing my sensible mind and asking questions about the method by which we teach. Sometimes I would find dead animals in the woods by the school, a clear sign of witch blood rituals, and when I had the courage to bring my findings to the authorities, I was discharged and barred from teaching anywhere ever again. And those witches, even had me committed for observation. Can you believe that? I mean, if there were witches teaching your children, wouldn't you want to know about it?
Down through history, there have been many secret organizations that kept knowledge from the public. The Freemasons, the Templar Knights, the Illuminati. These ancient orders were mainly men, but unknown to most, believers agree that witches could change into men and infiltrate these groups and influence these groups. Later, when these orders were removed from power, they were replaced by simple-sounding things like Avon, Mary Kay, the PTO, and more recently, Pinterest. And still more extreme fractions feel that we should stop educating the youth altogether in favor of only biblical teachings and support movements that allow homeschooling that can make up its own curriculum that's outside the influence witches and the devil-based false evil learning, and believe that all teachers are witches and all witches are evil and all evil is the devil's work. Therefore, schools are really satanic churches?
It's the devil's work, all right. Learning never taught me nothing but how to excuse myself out of sin. I stopped going to school, I got smarter, and then them witches came right to my door and forced me on their broom and took me back to school. When I told people about it, would you believe they made me go to a head shrinker? And then they committed me.
Down through history, people have been divided on what education is needed and if knowledge leads to sin. The struggle continues even today between those that think we only need to know enough to make babies fight wars and then die, and those that believe that a knowledge-based order breeds a civil society, that tolerance and enlightenment can bring us out of the dark and into the light, and those that crave the ignorance as a path to heaven. This battle wages on. Who is right and who will win this war is yet to be decided. Until then, many are content to think that teaching is offering the masses the modern apple from the devil.